The Broward County Sheriff's Office has been under intense scrutiny in the weeks following the school shooting that claimed the lives of 17 students and teachers. The question of why the officers who arrived on the scene didn't actually go in and engage the suspect is upmost on everyone's minds. Apparently, they set up a perimeter and let the students fend for themselves. Would the outcome have still been deadly if police had rushed in? We don't really know, but there is an excellent chance that the body count would have at least been lower. Just the threat of another person in the building, hunting the hunter, would likely have slowed him down, and anything to slow the spray of bullets would have been welcome to the targets and their families. But the question remains, why did those who have dedicated their lives to public service decide to stand back? As it turns out, they were ordered to stand down. The next question is another why. Why would the powers that be ask the officers that they've put so much money into training to back off and let this happen because of lawsuits? That's the short and sweet answer. BizPac Review reports that the order to stand down came to any officers who didn't have their body cam on, and unfortunately, they didn't have body cams. Deputies with the Broward County Sheriff's Office in Florida were ordered not to go into Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School while students were being slaughtered inside by crazed gunman Nicholas Cruz. Sources say the shocking reason for the decision to not help victims is that the deputies did not have body cameras on them. Our sources near the Broward County Sheriff's Department are telling us that the deputies who arrived at the scene of the shooting were told not to enter the school unless their body cameras were turned on, Fox News host Laura Ingraham said. Video below. Then we found out that the deputies did not have body cameras, so they did not enter the building or engage the shooter. It's unclear who issued the order for deputies to stand idly by as a deadly crisis erupted around them. It's likely the death count could have been mitigated had law enforcement done their jobs, which was to protect children. Ingram added, curiously, police also lost radio communications during the Parkland shooting. And our source claims that radio communication also went dead during the Fort Lauderdale airport shooting in 2017 that Sheriff Scott Israel also got a lot of criticism for. This is the latest shocking revelation that spotlights the epic incompetence and possible criminal negligence of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. As BizPac Review previously reported, when Nicholas Cruz started gunning down students at his former high school, the armed security guard on duty, Sheriff's Deputy Scott Peterson, never went into the building once he learned a shooter was inside. Moreover, 3 other sheriff's deputies also stood outside the school in their safe spaces while kids were being shot to death. What's more, the security cameras at the high school were reportedly on a 20-minute delay, so law enforcement was unable to locate Cruz due to the staggered timing of the footage they relied on to find him. These jaw-dropping findings have led many angry Americans to demand the firing of Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel, a Hillary Clinton superfan who's demanded stricter gun control laws. While Sheriff Israel has been showboating on TV, claiming his leadership has been amazing, 74 state lawmakers have asked Florida Governor Rick Scott to immediately suspend Israel for his incompetence and dereliction of duty in his gross handling of the deadly shooting. Meanwhile, liberals have stepped up their calls for more gun control while ignoring the fact that the local police and the FBI ignored multiple credible tips alerting them that Nicholas Cruz was homicidal and had repeatedly threatened to shoot up his school. Does Sheriff Israel have some deep dark plan, or is he just bad at his job? We don't yet know the answer to that question, and if he's in bed with Hillary, we might never know. At a bare minimum, this is the kind of mistake that should cost someone their job. It's unfortunate that the optics ever even enter the mind of a police officer, but now they do. As a country, we're angry, ticked off, and extremely litigious. Far too many officers are pausing to think about whether taking action will end their career, instead of just thinking about what's best for the people around them. There are a lot of questions in most of our minds today, but the last one is this: is the PC culturing us at this point? It's hard to see any answer other than yes. We don't believe the police because BLM won't let us, and because we don't believe the police, they didn't go into the school because they didn't have their cameras on, and nobody will believe them without video evidence. Because they didn't go into the school, they didn't catch the shooter in the act. He got bored and left, and then they found him. So yes, it's safe to say that social justice and political correctness is ing us. Literally. HT, BizPac Review. Follow us on Facebook. From the web powered by ZergNet. Navy SEAL who killed Bin Laden tossed off plane. Navy SEAL who killed Bin Laden gets thrown off plane. The truth about the Obama sisters' awkward Olympics wardrobe malfunctions. You can't unsee what really happened to Mike Holmes. The disappointing double life of Tim Tebow.